papers are not in order.
Why are the Nazis back? I mean, didn't we win World War II? Well, the reason goes back to 1944. 2 years into the war, Franklin Roosevelt was president, and he called fascism the new slavery. Hitler's Germany, Mussolini's Italy, and Tojo's Japan had turned their nations into instruments of control, surveillance, and forced labor. Economic despair had made their people desperate and ashamed, easy prey. By blaming immigrants, foreigners, these leaders who Roosevelt called gangsters because they'd built a lawless global protection racket, had enslaved their own working classes, their peasant classes, under a system of fear and obedience, and disguised that as patriotism. They ordered their people to ignite this hideous, totally unnecessary war that would kill 80 million people, a tragedy that must never befall us again. With so much at stake, Roosevelt knew the only way to prevent the Nazis from coming back was by cutting them off at their roots, and he called his plan the Second Bill of Rights. He introduced it with a national address in which he said, quote, "Sacrifices that we and our allies are making impose upon us all a sacred obligation to see to it that out of this war, we and our children will gain something better than mere survival. We are united in determination this war shall not be followed by another interim, which leads to a new disaster, that we shall not repeat the tragic errors of ostrich isolationism, that we shall not repeat the excesses of the wild 20s when this nation went for a joyride on a roller coaster, which ended in a tragic crash. It is our duty now to begin to lay the plans, determine the strategy for the winning of a lasting peace and the establishment of an American standard of living higher than ever before known. We cannot be content, no matter how high that general standard of living may be, if some fraction of our people, whether it be 1/3 or 1/5 or 1/10, is ill-fed, ill-clothed, ill-housed, and insecure. This republic had its beginning and grew to its present strength under the protection of certain inalienable political rights, among them the right of free speech, free press, free worship, trial by jury, freedom from unreasonable searches and seizures. They were our rights to life and liberty. As our nation has grown in size and stature, however, as our industrial economy expanded, these political rights proved inadequate to assure us equality in the pursuit of happiness. We have come to a clear realization of the fact that true individual freedom cannot exist without economic security and economic independence. Necessitous men, meaning needy men, are not free men. People who are hungry and out of a job are the stuff of which dictatorships are made. In our day, these economic truths have become accepted as self-evident. We have accepted, so to speak, a second Bill of Rights under which a new basis of security and prosperity can be established for all, regardless of station, race, or creed. Among these are the right to a useful and remunerative job, meaning a well-paid job in the industries or shops, farms or mines of the nation, the right to earn enough to provide adequate food and clothing and recreation, the right of every farmer to raise and sell his products at a return which will give him and his family a decent living, the right of every businessman, large and small, to trade in an atmosphere of freedom from unfair competition and domination by monopolies, at home or abroad, the right of every family to a decent home, the right to adequate medical care and the opportunity to achieve and enjoy good health, the right to adequate protection from the economic fears of old age, sickness, accident, and unemployment, the right to a good education. All of these rights spell security. And after this war is won, we must be prepared to move forward in the implementation of these rights to new goals of human happiness and well-being. America's own rightful place in the world depends in large part upon how fully these similar rights have been carried into practice for our citizens. For unless there is security here at home, there cannot be lasting peace in the world.
Geeks and gamers, obviously having trouble, having some issues. That Park Place clearly not getting the views and the stuff that they were getting before. Criticless, a really bad Rotten Tomatoes knockoff, which doesn't matter if they have 100 people on there or 1,000 people on there. It doesn't matter. The scores are no longer, like, now that it's combined with Geeks and Gamers, like, you can't take any of that seriously at this point. What this is to me, outside of the Ripicin stuff, I don't care that they're selling merch through Ripicin. The Ripiverse is another dying thing. But what this shows me is that they are all scrambling to stay afloat, and they are combining their audiences in hopes to keep themselves above water for a little while longer. Businesses that are doing well don't all just bundle together like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever you see, like, I saw, for example, after the issue with Jimmy Kimmel on Roku, that they were trying to sell bundles of like 5 different things connected to Disney in one package for like 2 weeks because they know they were suffering from the Jimmy Kimmel situation. Companies don't just partner up like this. This is a pretty major partnership. Like, the Geeks and Gamers website and Park Place combining together to create news, it's a pretty big red flag. Criticless having to use Geeks and Gamers, which, by the way, maybe Criticless will benefit a little bit from this, but Geeks and Gamers desperately needs something they can look to and scores that they can use to manipulate their viewers.
Vote for MAGA, simpleton, clown, trash, dirt road dipshit, boot licking, pedophile worshipping cult clowns. Donald Trump pardoned Russ Ulbricht. That's the guy that founded the Silk Road, which was a dark net drug trafficking network where hundreds of thousands of people died from the heroin and fentanyl and other drugs that were trafficked through those means. He was in prison for a long time. His mother came to a Donald Trump fundraiser and donated $1 million, and then boom, he mysteriously got a pardon after that. For you people that think that this immigration crackdown is about crime, you're a fucking idiot. That one guy is responsible for far more deaths than probably any illegal immigrant, even if they do work for the cartel. And that's not who he's arresting. He's arresting innocent people. He's arresting American citizens in many cases. If you think this guy's tough on crime, please explain why he pardoned that prolific peddler of narcotics. Please, take your time. And if you think that this guy is patriotic or pro-America, bald eagle, America first, do you understand that he just gave 40 billion with a B of your tax dollars to this fucking guy? Wow. That's America first, right? You proud of that? Do you feel good about that, you piece of shit? You think this guy's a patriot and he supports the troops? He's a 5-time draft dodger who mocked prisoners of war and Goldheart families? He's a fucking traitor. He's a Russian bootlicking traitor piece of shit, and so are you. He just pardoned George Santos, that fat face, lip injection, weird ass, pathological lying psychopath piece of shit that was in our Congress. A bipartisan hatred for this fucking clown. This guy created a fake charity for veterans and then stole the money. And Donald Trump pardoned him. Is that the America First patriotism you're talking about, you piece of shit? Your taxes are going up. The prices of everything you complained about a year ago have gone up, not down. Farmers are getting fucked.
Wow.
Builders are getting fucked. Tariffs are fucking small businesses.
Tell us how you really feel, man. Holy shit. Welcome. Let's do the show. All right, you assholes. What up? What up? What up? Holy shit! It's just me. It's just me today. Nobody else. Sorry to disappoint you all. Well, I do have a question though.
How would you like to die today, Bob?
Hey, Bob.
I didn't know it was just you, so I'll chill out. You got this.
And Ryan. Hey.
I'm not here, so
Yeah, we're not here.
Bye. All right, so I figured today we'll just have a Dane solo day. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do this on my own, guys. I need you.
It's fun to watch a show from the green room. Just chill out back there.
I need you. What's up, y'all? How's it going? Let's see. So I saw something somebody said about Smash JT was exposed. Is it a real good exposure? Is it something worth seeking out?
the long exposure. It's a slow burn, but the best way to watch it, the way I watched it, was TTBN Gaming's coverage of it. Basically, Smash JT managed to get an interview with a conservative gaming professional, but it did not go how he had planned it.
Oh, really?
Colin Moriarty. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems familiar. That's not a guy that used to write for Ain't It Cool News, is it?
Could be. I don't know anything about him, so it's up to the audience to fill in the gaps here.
Yeah.
The basic argument was that, and this again is not my world, but there's a company that releases official game sales figures. You have to pay in order to get access to the actual numbers, but they give you the chart. So they will say the top selling games for the year so far, etc., each month. And then if you pay a subscription to this company, they give you the actual numbers, which they collate from a few different sources, purely for American sales.
Sure.
Smash JT was arguing the veracity of these figures because it just so happens that the Ghosts of Yotai game that they all hate because it's a woman sold really well. In its first 2 days, it was in the top 18 for the year.
Damn.
So they were all freaking out saying, oh, these figures must be fake. Why can't we see the numbers? And basically, Colin Moriarty gave Smash JT an absolute schooling on why everything he says is from the perspective of somebody who knows nothing about the gaming industry.
Oh, jeez.
That's awesome. Oh man, too bad that's a long one though, because I'd love to. So I mean, maybe there's some there might be some good clips from it though. Maybe.
Yeah, it's difficult because Colin sort of leads him down a path of asking a lot of questions.
Oh, so
he
like the real professional way, like the really, takes his time and does it the good way. Not like how Bob asks a question. Like, have you ever read a comic book?
Have you ever read one of the most famous comic books ever? Let's talk about that.
He basically lays out the case very slowly, very controlled, and then it's towards the end that he sort of lets rip on Smash JT and accuses him of being purely a clout chasing grifter who is anti-woke for a reason that isn't reflected in gaming, and
that seems pretty clear.
Over it.
I mean, just like being outside of the the whole gaming sphere in general, aside from the whole woke anti-woke crap, just like seeing the way that he handled the Sweet Baby Inc. thing, then followed by the Alyssa Mercante situation, just like objectively reversed reality that he was spewing. You know what I mean? Like it just, there was no, oh shit, we thought he was not going to join us, but he did.
What?
And I'm still not. I'm just here for a minute.
Bye. He's bored, guys.
Let me grab my headphones. I got you guys on the speakers. I heard you talking about Smash JT, and I have the clip that's pretty bad, so I'm gonna.
There we go.
You have to know that, like, I know all of this stuff. So.
Yeah, you are like. On
I keep up with far too much Chud stuff. Let me.
You're a machine.
I would have absolutely no idea if it wasn't for TTBN Gaming being an excellent channel that is really starting to get fed up with the gaming chuds, because he's all about gaming and he knows his stuff, and Yeah. So thanks to him for
last
covering
video I
it.
watched last week you shared in Discord that one where because I wish we would have shown it on maybe we can watch it today, but like he covered the whole merger of
if you played it or not.
all that crap.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to start that up. Go ahead. Sorry.
And then like he looked at Geeks and Gamers website though, and how like they were getting flamed. There's only like a few comments under the thing that announced their merger with that Park Place and stuff, but still among those handful of comments, people were fucking flaming them for it. And I was like, man, this is not further proof that this is a fucking.
No, this is a great clip. So this is the guy who's also conservative that he had on as his guest. I don't know a lot about the guy, but he's actually someone that's involved in the industry. And Smash JT is connected with all these other guys that talk about like how they know everything about everything. Right. This clip is very short. I think it's like a minute and something, maybe, but just over a minute. Just watch this and watch how easily he dismantles the ignorance of these guys in this clip. It's pretty exciting, actually.
It doesn't matter if you played it or not. My point is, this is why
it's not incorrect. You're looking at they're not lying about the numbers. You don't understand what I'm sorry, dude. You really don't know what you're talking about. Like, you really don't. Like, everything rides on their long-term reliability. That's why they went back and fixed the numbers when they didn't have digital access, for instance. Like, games.
But I feel like by presenting information that's a partial picture with a whole bunch of stipulations attached to it, it paints a very fake image of reality that people run with to try to get a W. And it's like, well, that's
the W? What, like, I guess I'm curious, like, what is Circana's W by presenting their clients with bad data? Go ahead.
Have you seen the internet? What everyone's running with right now? How they're trying to get owns on everyone? Oh, look.
Do you understand that Circana's data doesn't exist for the internet, that it exists for the paying clients that rely on its reliability?
Then why does Matt even tweet anything out?
Because I just said this earlier, because they tease the numbers so that you subscribe to get the actual data. That's why they do it. That's why they've done it forever. And in fact,
so that's a part of the clip. But yeah, so essentially it was them trying to use this whole idea that these companies and these studios release fake data to the public. And he's explaining that they're not releasing it for the fucking internet. They're releasing it for the investors, for people that want to put money into these companies, these brands, because those numbers mean something to those guys, and they misinterpret the data because they don't understand the data.
I have a couple questions based on that though. Like, so was he saying that the initial reported numbers that before they kind of adjusted them, were they lower or higher?
I think because in that one, I believe he was talking about Dragon Age, I think, in that clip. And the issue was that they were not releasing all of the digital numbers because they didn't have all of them in the beginning. So over time, they corrected the numbers because those numbers matter to the investors, but to the general public,
lower or higher though.
It was high. It was higher. They did better. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck does Smash JT? What is he talking about when he's saying that gets them a W? Like that's actually,
but that's what I'm saying. Like that's just a clip of all of it's a lot of stuff that happened in that video that's bad. That's just one of them. But he's all over the place because this guy is saying like, explain to me what the W is, and he's talking about internet clout, and this guy is like, it's not about internet clout. These numbers that come out,
the vast majority of everything I've seen of like the Ghost of Yotai or whatever game is Chud shit.
Yeah.
The vast majority of it, like, there's nobody. I don't see a campaign going around trying to pretend that act like this game's done well. I had no idea whether it had done well or not because I hadn't looked into it. But
that's the thing is, I think what that clip exposed for Smash JT and not just him, I would say it exposed it for a lot of these guys is that they don't understand the numbers that they're presenting to their audience, and therefore they're lying essentially about it. They're lying by ignorance. So.
I just remember one bit where he completely whips the rug out from under Smash JT. I don't know if there is a clip that exists or if Eric, if you've come across it, but at one point Smash JT brings up a tweet from that Matt guy that they mentioned, who I think works for that company, and the tweet basically says something like, "Facts don't actually matter. It's all about feelings. Go and live your dream. If you believe you can fly, then go and jump off a building and prove to the world that you can." And Smash JT is like, well, what do you think about him saying stuff like this, which is that it's all about feelings and that facts don't matter? And Colin points out that tweet was sarcastic. It was entirely aimed at people like Smash JT. and they just don't understand the sarcasm of it.
Yeah,
or
I'm finding there's a lot of clips here. I don't know which one that one is specifically.
It's just it's hard to, you know, like, I guess he's just in his own sauce, you know.
Well, but this is a good example of, and I don't know if he understood what he was going to get when he brought this guy on, like if he thought this guy was going to toe the line for him or whatever. But this is why when we say these guys don't want to debate people, this is the reason why. This is a good example. And this wasn't even a debate. This was just showing, like, if he were in an actual debate, it would have been even worse. This was somebody who's a conservative guy he had on that he hoped was going to be able to confirm everything he said, and not everything was as he said it was, and he had a crash out.
I got the vibe that, like, that guy could have gone way harder on him based on that clip. Like, so it seems like he was trying to be respectful at least, and still was faced with just, you know, absurd claims that he had to call out. Like,
well, if you go to Smash JT's Twitter, which I wouldn't do it because it's brain rot, but he's got like tweet after tweet after tweet of him asking AI if he was right and the other guy was wrong. And like,
oh man,
it's bad because you have a dude on. See, this is why these guys are so bad at this. Like, you had a guy on that's supposed to be an expert, and the expert tells you that you, the non-expert, is wrong about something, and to like save your face, you go to AI and say, hey, which one of us was right based on this totally leading question I'm about to ask you, and then it gives you the information that you want to hear, and then you're like, see, I'm right, he was wrong, I used AI. Like, it's crash out shit. It's awful, it's dumb.
Amazing.
One example, this is something that TTBN brought up. At one point, they're just conversing. It's towards the beginning, and they're talking about being in the industry. And Smash GT says, well, I was in the industry. I worked for Sony Entertainment back when that was a thing. And Colin doesn't question him any further on that. But TTBN Gaming pointed out that he was a games tester. He didn't work in the industry. He was paid as a games tester.
Right. And
that was it. That was his involvement. So his industry knowledge starts and ends there. And I think what was clear to me from that sort of what became a debate was the gaming world is far more opaque than the film world, which is something we obviously cover more often. And so you don't get like weekend box office figures. The sales figures are quite opaque. They're based on, it's a bit like when comics used to sort of report only via that one system. You have to opt into it. And so I don't think Nintendo is a part of the reporting. It's only America. And I think Ubisoft recently pulled out of it as well, because some of these companies don't want their numbers reported. And so Colin's point was, this is the most accurate figures. They might not be correct, but they are the most accurate. And that's why they're the industry standard.
Yeah, yeah. I also want to point out, I think this might be Smash JT's Air July Bob moment, where this video clip is going to float around for a long time, or this like pieces of this little interview are going to float around for a long time, and people are going to use it constantly to discredit him. So he's kind of did himself in on this one.
Sorry, I kind of started. I did go to his Twitter, and
did you see it? Like all the crash out on there? Yeah, I'm
kind of enthralled right now. Just like the screenshots of his face during that shit. Like, let me show this real quick.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And then just the morons defending him, trying to defend him and his own defenses. It's just fucking hilarious.
That's something else that's a bit like the Bob debate. He did a cope session after the conversation ended as well.
His face. Yeah.
He did a big cope session for his fans, saying how that he was right all along.
Right. No, he had a tweet earlier today that was like, again, people say he won the argument. No, he spoke with authority and constantly talked over me. That didn't make him right.
You mean like he knew what he was talking about?
Right.
Is that what, like?
Yeah, he didn't just speak with authority. He spoke from a place of authority.
Yeah. Keep in mind, the last time this happened with Bob and Eric July lost over 30,000 subscribers. So, I mean, that's just, Bob has that effect on people. I feel like this guy might have that effect on Smash JT.
Well, I do have it pulled up if we want to watch like a segment. I don't know the highlight clips. I just pulled up a segment that looked interesting to me.
Sure.
Oh, this was funny.
I think that it probably will sell close to the first one when all is said and done. 5 million after 5 months.
Do you think that was what they set out for? Was their goal?
Considering Nate Fox said the game cost the same amount of money or around the same amount of money that they developed the original one in, probably. They made $400 million on the original game.
That one is very vague too, because they say they don't give actual information. So what does about the same even mean? 1 million away, 10 million more, 100? Like what is? Oh, it was almost what was the quote? It was close to how much the original budget was.
I think he said surprising. I think he said, I had it here in my notes. Very, very similar.
Very similar. So
assume it's even 1.5x more. That brings it to 90 million. I assume the marketing spend is another 0.5x more.
There we go.
Sony has made all of that money back plus another $50 or so million, and now every single game that they sell is pure profit.
Correct. So if we're saying we'll say just for numbers use, we'll say it's 100 million for the budget. So you're saying right now that it's at 1.6 million they've sold. That's at 80 million. They need to sell, we'll say another 900,000 or so to get to 40 million more, and that would be a 20 million profit in a year or so of selling this game. By the way, I want to be clear. I never said this game is not going to turn a profit. I just said it's going to fail when compared to Tsushima and what could have been. That's always been my argument.
My theory about this is that you guys don't like the game because it has a female protagonist. And you don't like one of the chicks that worked at the studio that said really stupid shit. Nate Fox fired her. So I don't know what else you wanted him to do. And that you're actively rooting against it. Like you actively root against all these other games for amorphous reasons of it being quote unquote woke.
You say you guys.
Yeah.
I can't speak for everyone. I can only speak for myself, which is all I'm going to do here. For me personally, this was the turning point for me. When I saw this, I'm like, yep, I'm out. That's me personally. And I think for a studio to even consider hiring an activist as their lead protagonist for a game, that is a very dangerous road to go down, because then you end up in a situation where there are potentially multiple people like me that see something like this and say, I don't want to support that. This person actively hates me and what I stand for. Why would I support a game and put money in the pocket of someone like that?
I think that's great that you feel that way. It doesn't mean that it had a wide-ranging effect on the. I think that, well, because you're projecting everything about the game based on Sucker Punch's casting decision and the behavior of one of the people at the studio. There are plenty of people at Sucker Punch that don't like me at all. I know a lot of people there. There are plenty of people there that don't like me at all. I have to separate.
Do you want to support people that do not like you actively?
Dude, I'm a conservative in the video game industry. That's not much of a choice if you want to play games. It's the creative industry. That's just the reality of the situation.
I would disagree with
San Francisco
that.
for 10 years.
The only way to enact change in the industry is to speak with your wallet.
Yeah, I agree. Speak with your wallet, but don't project onto it's obvious, dude. You guys are you're so wrapped up in this culture war over this game and can't back up and see the forest for the trees. I'm sure you guys cost, and not only you guys, but other people that were offended by it, cost the game, I don't know, tens of thousands of copies sold. Certainly it would have sold more copies and did more if the casting was different.
But you're saying you guys caused it to not sell. But what about the people that we didn't cause to not sell, but people just that don't watch YouTube that saw this and were like, why did they put a female protagonist into this game? I don't want to play that.
What's the big deal about that?
The game was based off of Jin Sakai, a story with a male lead protagonist in feudal Japan that people fell in love with. Why would Sucker Punch change it to what many people would say the narrative, and especially during the peak era of, I guess you could say, wokeness or whatever you want to call it, during the pandemic?
Did you play Ghost of Tsushima?
I did. One of my favorite games of all time. Love it.
How the fuck would they continue the game?
Jin Sakai becoming the ghost, go to the mainland, open world, would have been amazing.
So you wanted a direct sequel to the ghost story that was wrapped up, especially with Iki Island and all that stuff, as opposed to jumping forward?
Yes. I did. And I know a lot of people that did.
I don't know. I really don't know how the story would continue from there. The story is over. He's wanted. No, I don't even want to even. I don't even want to
spoil. I'm in for writers write stories. They create the story. I could give you the same pushback saying, I don't know how you'd write a story 100 years in the future throwing a chick in there. Like what kind of argument is that?
What is the? Well, it's a. I want to go back to the chick thing. Like, what is the problem with it being a woman? Because it's a fantasy. It's not supposed to be historically accurate.
Let's go back even further than that. Why did they need to put a girl into it?
I don't know. I guess it was a creative decision. I don't mind one way or the other.
Exactly. That's the problem I have with it. I disagree with that creative decision. And I was like, you know what? I still might be open to it. Because maybe the game doesn't go overboard in any direction. But as soon as I saw this post from her, I was out. But that's just me, though. I don't speak.
Right. That's just you and select number of other people. That's great. No one's saying you can't feel or don't feel a certain way about it. I think what a lot of people are confused about, and what I'm certainly confused about, is the hate and this energy that you guys put towards disliking everything. It comes off to me as touristy.
I'm just letting it ride because I'm really interested to see if Colin gets some sort of answer from Smash JT about his issue with a woman.
So we're gonna have unless you mute it, Bob.
Okay, you can talk now.
Okay, thanks. I found Colin Moriarty, who just, you know, for the record, I have what you call it, the fucking forget the name of it, the browser add-on that tells me by color coding who's a transphobe on the internet. His name is Red on Twitter, so just let anybody know he's not any kind of he's a conservative for sure.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying here, because I'm obviously not on the side of I let them fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah,
but,
I just want to make sure I don't want anybody to take us as being like this guy's awesome.
So what he's saying, what I'm gathering from this, because I actually have intelligence, Smash JT is obviously an idiot, is there's no reason for him to be mad about a woman being in something just for being a woman. And twice now he's made the statement about why is a woman there, but he's not given a valid reason. Like, he's given a reason why this specific person is not someone he would support, but he's not given a valid reason for why a woman shouldn't be involved in something, which is what he said twice. And this guy, Colin, has tried to get him to talk about. The other thing is what the comment he made earlier about, the industry and working in it, is his point is you're going to boycott something because of this, but you're overlooking all the conservative people that you say you support who work on these projects that don't always agree with this, that also were involved in the making of the game because of this one thing. That's kind of getting at.
I mean, it's worse than that. That's like, there are people saying, well, no, that one got fired. Some, I don't even know what the case is, but one person got fired, but you don't even, that there's a bunch of people that didn't outwardly celebrate Charlie Kirk's death, that did celebrate Charlie Kirk's death or something. So they're like doing all this thought crime shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
same.
I mean, I think what gives it away a lot is the fact that Smash JT is bringing up this tweet from Erica. Is she? I'm going to slaughter her name.
Erica,
the voice actress. He's getting really offended by that, but then he's also admitting that he was against a female protagonist to begin with. So what's clear to me is that he was already biased against it.
No, that's what
working
I think that's
conclusion.
Bob, I think that's the point that Colin is making here. Is that regardless of this, you've already established that you don't think a woman should be in the game. So it can't just be this. If it were this one thing, and you're saying this is the reason why I don't want to buy it, there's an explanation there. I understand, okay, you don't like this political stance, whatever. That I don't agree with you, but I understand that's your reasoning. When you're saying it's a woman, that is a nebulous, vague reason that doesn't explain why.
Mm-hmm.
I would guess that, in Smash JT's case, I think he's got some kids. I don't know if he's still married or if he's divorced or what, but if he's still married, he's probably in a very unhappy marriage and probably taking out some stuff. And then it might, if he's divorced, that probably explains it a lot easier. But they just don't like women, man. They don't like women that have agency. They don't like women being in the front of anything, like a game or a movie or anything. It's just it's brain rot. It's misogyny. It's all it is. But it's
an interesting question that Colin should have asked or could have asked him, and I just don't think he would have got an honest answer anyway. But would you have been as upset if they made this sequel with a different male character as the lead? And he might say, well, yeah, I probably would, but that's a lie. They didn't they didn't turn against this game because it was somehow failing the narrative of the original. Because, like he said, the original game wrapped up its narrative.
So
There's
this
no point in
right here, this picture we're looking at is the reason why they call it Ghosts of Antifa, huh?
Mm.
I've seen it called that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, here's the thing I was looking at, because the date's on here. So this is July 20th, 2020. So this is a 5-year-old tweet that they dug out the ashes, and I assume that's pretty much all they.
Well, they wanted a justification other than it's just a woman, so they had to find another reason to like.
Can I show you guys? I know you said don't look at his Twitter, but I think there is something we can learn from this.
Yeah,
stuff.
go ahead. I was saying it because it's brain rot, but yeah,
it is. But I mean, I think there's something to be taken from it. Here's this. First of all, here's Colin. After about 3 days, it seems like he's. Here's Smash JT, many posts on his Twitter, just like, oh yeah, well, what about this, Colin? After the debate, here's Colin saying, "Don't let me interrupt your 3-day meltdown, but your own audience, but on your own show, thought I won the debate by a 2-to-1 ratio. I'd say let's do it again sometime, but I honestly felt bad for you when we were done, so let's not." That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But then, just the kind of shit that he's posting is this kind of stuff all the time. It's like constantly. He's fucking deranged, dude. He is actually
there's something like I'm gonna armchair diagnose him because I feel like he deserves that. Something is like psychologically wrong with him. He needs professional help.
Like, look at this shit. He's just like, somebody said, "Oh, being LGBT isn't political," and he's like, "Oh, whatever was I thinking?" And he just,
But it's weird. Like, I'm literally a gay person, and you're hard pressed to find me post like anything related to gay people. You know what I mean?
Productive, like brain rotten way to fucking look at things. It's like everything is essentially political, man. Like, Thanksgiving's political. They do.
Well, I mean,
apparently video games are now political with the ICE ad and stuff like that. Like, apparently everything is political. So
I mean, everything can be political. And recently, over the past few years, especially with social media, they've turned borderline everything into a fucking political wedge issue.
This this just implying that this fucking guy, he apparently was. Well, whoops. But yeah, that's bound to happen. Large enough subset set of people, but like it's just constantly. Thankfully, seeing a lot of people recognize he's a fucking grifter, man. It's
but they have no look. I'm just put this out there. If they do not support being against Trump for the Epstein files, and they don't have any fucking leg to stand on,
it's
with
like
any problem with any other child abuser out there.
The video I posted that I showed before the stream was Cliff Cash, the comedian, talking about how fucking Trump pardoned the guy that started and operated the Silk Road back in the day.
Yeah.
He was in prison for several years, a life sentence, by the way. It was no parole. He pardoned him because his mom showed up and gave him some money at a campaign or whatever.
The minute someone brings up
that the Silk Road was responsible for so much child trafficking and fucking drug trafficking and all kinds of shit.
And the guy he pleaded guilty. He pleaded guilty to
fucking boats and using fentanyl as an excuse because they're killing people in our country. Dude, you fucking pardon the guy that was fucking bringing one of the sources of drugs in the country for a few years. Like, it's fucking blatant hypocrisy.
And he pled guilty, everyone. I know the chat needs to hear. The guy pled guilty. He did it. He did it. The reason why Trump, I think he said, or like a truncated thing, was he thought the sentence was too harsh. So he pardoned him. It's like,
fucking
what
stupid.
the actual fuck? But my thing is now, anytime somebody brings up any sort of child abuse from anyone, it doesn't matter who it is, I always say, are you MAGA and do you support the government releasing the Epstein files? Are you actively supporting that? And if your answer to that is some weaselly word salad way out of it, then do not mention protecting children ever again in my presence.
True.
Ever again.
By the way, I think the president does have commutation powers as well. He doesn't just have pardon powers. He could just commute the sentence. So if that was really the the issue,
but
too harsh.
But I do have to jump out of here. I just want to jump on and chat with you guys for a moment because I have to go to work. But anyway, have a great stream, and I will see everyone later.
Yeah, have fun at work.
Let you know as well, Erica Ishii, I assume they didn't know who she was, and so they thought they could just probably bully her or something like that. But she's actually a comedian who contributes to the Dropout network. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that at all.
Yes,
it's what grew out of College Humor, basically, when College Humor ditched it. So she's got a very good career on there as well. I think they just thought she was some random woman who was cast to do the voices.
Yeah, they're really bad at looking up, like, seeing if people actually have, like, a history or shit like that.
I did want to address this real quick. That's not exactly how that happened. The reclaim was done years ago, man.
Yeah.
Leftist streamers and stuff have been using the Pepe emotes and stuff since, like, one of my first videos ever. So it was like late 2019 was about how then he was called Pig Puncher. Now he's Xander Hall. But back then he was somebody was on Twitter starting up, trying to rally people, calling him a fascist because his chat would use Pepe emotes. And I did a video that was partly about addressing that, and then just the fact that I wore a Captain America helmet for the same reason that I've seen chuds wearing a Captain America shield or whatever, and I didn't want to let them claim that as a symbol. So that's like why I started doing that. And I was like, this is an important part of this whole thing. Is like you need to, being able to reclaim a symbol that they've taken, because that's all they can do is take. Is pretty important. It's like going into their base, stealing their secret weapon, and then using it on them where they can't use it anymore. It's pretty good. So yeah, the frog's been taken back for quite some time, but yeah, this is definitely a new incarnation of the frog. That's pretty awesome.
Well, the original artist of the Pepe the Frog, where it all came from, because it wasn't created as a fascist symbol, he made some very strong. He made some very strong statements about it as well.
There's a documentary called "Feels Good Man" or something like that. Documentary. But yeah, so where do we want to go from here? I don't have a whole lot of time, but we can go right to the James Gunn stuff.
That works
as well.
Okay.
Something I was just learning about earlier today. So
one of the biggest questions that has kind of been floating around ever since word first broke that Paramount was looking to acquire Warner Brothers. And then, of course, the tidal wave. Well, now Amazon is making bids. Now Apple is making bids. Netflix has called them to express interest, like all this kind of stuff. One of the big questions has been, what will happen with James Gunn? Will James Gunn still be the head of DC if Apple gets it, if Paramount gets it, whatever? Now, I did a topic on this a little while ago where I gave 3 reasons why he could not be there anymore and 3 reasons why we should expect him to be there. And amongst the reasons why I believed it's possible that once Warner Brothers gets acquired, that maybe James Gunn doesn't keep his job was because sports analogies, when a new GM comes in, sometimes they just want their own people. They just want it to be their regime. They want to clean house a bit and install their own people. Nothing wrong with that. And there are a couple other reasons like that, right? Now, I still, at the end of the day, believed, and we talked about this even just.
He's come out vocally against MAGA. I'd say he's not even close to the worst. You got to remember what the worst is these days.
The other day that whenever Warner Brothers gets bought, James Gunn will still be there because he's one of the reasons you want to buy DC. Well, at least for one studio, it sounds like if they get Warner Brothers, unless James Gunn wants to leave, James Gunn is still going to be the head of DC. As it's being reported over at Bloomberg, that Paramount plans to keep Warner Brothers largely intact, and they get more specific when they write the following. Paramount Skydance Corp plans to keep much of Warner Brothers Discovery Inc. intact if it merges with the rival film and TV studio, a decision that may help address worries about job losses and production costs. David Ellison, Chief Executive Officer and controlling shareholder of Paramount, wants to keep the creative teams of the 2 studios while consolidating some of the marketing and distribution, according to people familiar with his plans. Okay, look. When they say he plans to keep the creative teams of the 2 studios intact, I have people that I know at most of the studios. Doesn't mean I have close relationships.
I don't get the hate for him. I think there's plenty of really valid criticism for the guy.
I don't think he deserves hate. I do disagree with a lot of his film takes, and even some of his entertainment news takes.
Robert Byer Burnett's back on his show on a regular basis again.
Yeah,
I was happy when he left, but now he's back, and that's kind of weird. But Yeah. So let's talk about for a moment off the back of that. Well, first of all, that's awesome. If that's the case, good. With an asterisk next to it, because who the studio we're talking about, the person we're talking about, David Ellison. Hold on, Gordy, stop fucking tearing off the carpet, dude. If that's who ends up buying Warner Brothers, could possibly lead to some conflict if Gunn stays, because David Ellison is a huge Trump guy, big Trump guy. So this is he's the CEO of Paramount Skydance. So let's see.
I would say is if you look back to the footage we just watched of the conservative games guy, is he might be a conservative, but what he loves more than Trump is money. And so if he thinks that James Gunn is going to make him money, then he's going to keep James Gunn, regardless of what James Gunn might spout off.
Well, I mean, that's another thing to consider. Like, everybody's like, oh, when that happens, they can just boot James Gunn out. It's most likely not that black and white. James Gunn most likely has a contract for either a certain amount of movies or a certain amount of years that he's going to be working for them. And to just boot him out, even with the merger, would require a buyout. And
we can look at some of his past productions actually, and see if maybe there's going to be any conflict with what James Gunn does potentially. So Skydance Media films include Mission Impossible Fallout, Annihilation, World War Z, True Grit, Jack Reacher, Star Trek Into Darkness, yikes, but Star Trek Beyond, cool. And then let's see, Top Gun Maverick. So and then he also produced the show Altered Carbon on Netflix, which I liked a lot. So I mean, I don't know if any of those really tell me anything. I don't know if none of them really have any specifically political stuff. Like, the main thing I'm thinking of is like James Gunn can get pretty explicitly anti-Nazi. So I don't know.
And I do find it a self-report when people get offended at that.
Yeah.
But the bad thing is with any merger is, like, we recently heard that Paramount is in the process of laying off 1,000 staff.
Yes,
which is awful. And if the merger goes ahead, there will be job losses. Like Campia just reported there, it's likely not going to be from the creative side, because yes, they earn the most money, but also they're the ones that bring the most money indirectly and can't necessarily be replaced. Whereas, again, like you said in the article, marketing and distribution, those are things that by combining the companies, you would essentially have two groups of people doing the same job for one company. So it makes perfect sense. Plus, obviously, if the idea is to keep the creative teams, then they're looking at Warner Brothers' performance this year, which has been phenomenal for Warner Brothers after several dire years where other people were taking the creative decisions.
He's also executive producer on Foundation, which I love that show. Holy shit.
Well, like I said, David Ellison might be the biggest Trump supporter in the world, but if he makes films and TV programs that make money, he's not going to care about the politics of those particular TV shows, because I think, as we've observed, Trump doesn't watch fiction.
It's true.
He only watches factual programs. So
I
as long as they don't,
if this happens and Chud start championing like, yeah, David Ellison, just be like, oh yeah, well, he produced Terminator Dark Fate, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that, because honestly, I was extremely pleasantly surprised by both the comic and the adaptation of the comic. Were both excellent. Batman and Ninja Turtles worked way better together than I expected.
So I need to watch that, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, at least read the first volume, the first trade of the comics. It's really, really good. But yeah,
I mean, the other thing about it is that
we're about to get to that, because I got another Campia clip. Sorry for you Campia haters, but I just grabbed the two clips from one channel. What were you saying?
The other thing about the merger, though, is that Paramount hasn't really been doing that great on its own, and so
they just lost a big cash cow for them. That's a transition point right there.
Yeah,
an absolute bombshell drop that I was not expecting at all. Taylor Sheridan, the man behind Yellowstone, 1883, 1923.
And apparently all of his shows are apparently like in the same universe. They did like a Marvel universe, and I didn't even know it. You know, he was like a TV universe or whatever. Did you guys know that? They're all like,
I knew part of it.
Yes,
Yeah, I knew that.
Aware of it.
I don't know his whole slate, but I know that he made Yellowstone and then like a prequel to
like a prequel to Yellowstone or whatever. Like it's, you know, and I don't know if it's every single one of them, but several of those shows. I will say
there's
that
like a Yellowstone universe on Paramount.
The movie Hell or High Water is fucking phenomenal. That was a movie of his. I don't know if you wrote it.
Something tells
yes,
me he's a big fan of cowboy films. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe.
Low watermelon, Mark. 5 actual fandom memberships. Thank you, man. Appreciate that very much. And so hopefully you do the 5 folks who got them. But yeah, the Hell or High Water was a phenomenal movie. I didn't hear if you guys said anything about that because I was reading that. But
no, I love that movie.
Fucking great. Chris Pine and what's that dude's name?
God, I'm brain farting. That dude, yeah, he's such a good actor.
He's always fucking great and everyting. He played Angel in X-Men 3, but
yeah, he was in the 310 to Yuma remake as well. Yep. But Ben Foster.
He was in 30 Ben Foster. Yeah, 30 Days a Night. He started off acting in like teen comedies, and then just consistently made weird films, playing weird characters.
That's another weird one I like that he's in. But yeah, so Taylor Sheridan is a really talented guy. I haven't really been motivated to watch all of his TV products, but I've assumed that there's some quality to them that if I was ever forced to watch them for some reason, I wouldn't hate it. You know?
Well, I think Helen Mirren was in the prequel series, 1923.
Yeah, that's Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford, I believe.
Yeah. So,
but apparently he walked, man. He had this whole deal going, and he fucking walked. And I really don't know why exactly, except for I believe it's some kind of creative. Oh, somebody had said that, and I don't know if this is confirmed fact, but that Ellison essentially, CBS wanted him to do a straight up conservative coded show. It's like a straight up conservative show, which I thought that the oil propaganda show was that. But apparently that's not even as conservative as they wanted him to do. And he said, fuck off.
Tulsa King, Landman, and not to mention King of or Mayor of Easttown, or Mayor of it's Mayor of Kingstown.
Kingstown.
I keep getting them mixed up. Mayor of Easttown is of course a very
King of
different
Tulsa
show.
Town. Kate Winslet. Ooh.
Not to mention the movies that he's been behind, whether it's Sicario, Hell or High Water, Wind River, and others, who's been firmly under lock and key over at Paramount, and who David Ellison, the new owner and chairman of Paramount, has said, "Oh, Taylor Sheridan's our #1 priority." Announced he's leaving. He's gone. Fart in the wind. Out the door. Bye, Felicia. See you later. He's leaving, and he's going over to NBC Universal Comcast.
Damn. Thanks for all these timely references, by the way, John King.
Yeah. These aren't dated at all. These aren't.
Yeah, Sicario. I mean,
Sicario's really good. I'm not as big a fan for the second, but the first one,
especially the second one. The second one ran with is despite being a good movie, I enjoyed it. It's definitely based on a fucking really chud conspiracy, basically that terrorists are coming through the southern border or whatever, and that's not great, but still very well done movies.
I wonder what Universal are up to, just because we never seem to hear about them. They don't have a streaming service of their own, do they?
They do.
That's what Peacock is.
That's what Peacock.
Oh, does that have all their films on it as well?
I don't know, but
I know
NBC Universal is one company. I mean,
but they have been for decades, haven't they? Yes. NBC Universal.
Well, I think Villeneuve directed it, I believe, but it was written by Taylor Sheridan. Pretty sure.
I didn't realize their movie collection. I thought Peacock was just sort of their TV stuff and selected movies, because we don't have Peacock over here. We don't have HBO Max either, but
they have a few originals too. I tried watching their Twisted Metal show. It's not so great. Kind of lame, but
that's a shame, because in the 70s Universal made basically all the good TV shows. It's crazy, but they seem to keep themselves pretty quiet. So
well, Universal is, I'm sure, is working on the next Jurassic Park movie and the next Fast and Furious movie too.
Yeah, the one with the all fucking AI CG or whatever, fucking Paul Walker. It
sounds awful.
I don't think I'm gonna see it, man.
You know, and I'm one of those guys. Like I kind of enjoy those Fast and Furious movies. Not all of them, but like I think there's a dumb fun to a lot of them.
They like the fifth and sixth one, and maybe the seventh one was the peak, basically. But like when it turned a corner with the fifth one, I believe it was, when they introduced The Rock, that movie was fucking great, like excellent. And then I think a little bit more of the same, but then
Do you think they missed an opportunity though when they were crafting their dark universe not to merge it with the Fast and the Furious?
Dude, yeah, it's like Dracula driving fucking hitting that Nas.
Oh my god.
Dracula 0 to 120 or something.
You know, we were talking about this on the show the other day. It's like, what the hell? Holy, like this is significant because you cannot overstate the importance and presence of Taylor Sheridan's work at Paramount.
No.
I mean, Paramount
Plus, supporting that studio.
You might as well call it the Taylor Sheridan Network. I mean, he's 80% of everything that's really successful.
So there's that, and I wonder if this is going to influence whether or not they actually do buy Warner Brothers. You have to think it probably will, right? Like with plus Taylor Sheridan Paramount, maybe they have the option to kind of, you know, maybe not really consider buying it, but losing that, as important as he was to all of their shit, I don't know. They might need something as big as Warner Brothers to kind of make up.
I mean, without him, like we'll have to see. Like, I don't know who actually owns the shows. If Paramount owns the shows, or if Taylor Sheridan owns them, or if it's part ownership, which could muddle it up quite a bit. But if they're no longer able to produce the shows, that could seriously cripple them. Hey,
it's all of it.
Might give them the. I was just gonna say, might give them the energy to put some more money into Star Trek and make sure that does better than it's been doing.
Yeah, well, it's all really confusing because they had the Mission Impossible series, which was sort of wound down unspectacularly. Even the Chuds hated the last
hey man, I just watched it the other day and I thought it was pretty good.
It is fine.
It's not. Look, it's not. They didn't go out on the highest note. You know what I mean? It's no Fallout. It's no Ghost Protocol. But
I think for me, like I enjoy it enough, but like to me, that movie just oozed Tom Cruise's ego just way too much.
What I thought was funny was just like how it went so long with like making sure that each film was essentially not connected to anything else.
Yeah.
Last one, they're like, no, it's all connected.
It's all connected. Her web connects them all.
They really appreciate bringing back the guy from the fucking CIA clean room in the original movie. I thought that was a cool fucking
yeah, because he's in a lot of, because I think he's in Aliens. Maybe he might be in the cut footage. He might be the dad, but he's an American actor or a Canadian actor who worked in Britain for a long time, and of course, the first Mission Impossible film, a lot of that was shot in the UK. So he turns up in random British TV programs and also big Hollywood films. A bit like the other guy from Aliens, Mac McDonald, who turns up in Batman as well. Yeah. He also turns up in Red Dwarf. He's Captain Hollister, which is just... Yeah, so...
I need to revisit Red Dwarf sometime. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I watched maybe the first several episodes with somebody one time, and then I just never continued, but I enjoyed it.
I saw up to 2012 season, so it's been a
Jesus, it went that long?
Dude, there's years break between the seasons. So there's
the first six series were pretty much all together. There may have been like a year's break here or there, but they're pretty tight. And then there was a big gap between 6 and 7. And then I think after 8, they went from BBC to one of our digital channels. So, and then that they couldn't afford basically to do it in the same way. So it was very sporadic after that. But the first
Americans not familiar, when he says series, he means seasons.
Seasons, yes.
Call them over there.
So the first 6 seasons are fantastic and sort of
Yeah, that definitely is the highlight. Although I felt like with the last season I watched, I felt like that some of the magic was kind of coming back because there was a lull in a couple of seasons in the middle there.
I'm actually reading I'm looking at this Hollywood Reporter article about the Taylor Sheridan leaving, and they kind of have the flip view on it that or at least this Steven Zetchik, whoever it is, says he kind of eye rolled that this is a major loss given how expensive Sheridan is. So, you know, yeah, with the optics of Hollywood, you never want talent to walk out the door. But you have to know, but you know firsthand how valuable, talking to the other person that he's having a conversation with, you know firsthand how valuable the talent is. But this is going to save Paramount a lot of money. So in that way, I guess I could argue in the other way of what I said, that maybe they don't need to, you know, necessarily, because they do get to keep all the shows. You know, they get 80. They have 80+ million Paramount subscribers. That's a lot.
And real quick, I just when we brought up the Dark Universe, you clumped the Invisible Man and the Mummy together. The Invisible Man was actually a kind of a clever remake that respects the original, but like does its own thing, and you can tell that they respect the original because like there's lots of story points that are mirrored, but like it's definitely doing its own thing. Tom Cruise The Mummy was a pile of shit.
Yeah,
there's no middle ground.
Yeah, I mean,
they are not the same.
We watched that infamous trailer one time on the show.
Which is amazing. That's the only good thing that movie produced. That trailer.
I mean, yeah, I couldn't believe how bad it was. It's just sort of, I can't even describe why it's bad, other than the ending is also it was a dream all along.
Oh, I didn't even know that much.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean,
it's not quite
Martin
that,
Craven
but,
the Hunter, where a rhino makes a weird noise.
So this is a little clip I did of when we watched it after this part.
The Kravinoff hit failed. All of our guys are dead.
That's right.
Still funny.
What the fuck happened? What the fuck is going on right there? How did that make it into a movie? Like,
listen, I watched
love
that
how
movie.
delayed
By
it
the
is.
time we got to that, I was just like, fuck.
Let's see. Then we go to here we go.
You guys forgot this or haven't seen it, you are in for a treat because it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they for some reason jumped the gun or they most likely grabbed the wrong file to upload.
Yeah.
When they're trying to upload the trailer, and they grabbed the one that did not have, what was it, music and sound effects, right?
It was, yeah. It's
did it really?
Wild.
I didn't know about that.
At this point, you still think it's artistic choice. Now it's getting silent for a little longer than you'd expect.
There's like that undertone of like.
Well, it's also like the look of the trailer too. Like, and it looks like it could be silent on purpose for a minute.
Yeah.
You're like, well, they're kind of just sitting there. Maybe
they're
it's not
going for an atmosphere, right? They're going.
Might even be why they fucked up with the upload, which file they got.
Yeah.
You know, they might have clicked on it like, okay, yeah, this is.
Watch the first 3 seconds. Went, yeah, no, that's it. Good, go for it.
Pan. This is November 4, 09er. What the hell?
I'll stop it after the
That trailer, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
I got a fire alarm. I'll be back.
No.
That was from the live. So Dane's attending to an emergency.
Yes. Well, hopefully.
But yeah,
okay.
Universal really dropped the ball on that, which is was disappointing, but then in a way also I'm glad they didn't continue taking the Dark Universe in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, man, I wasn't even massive fan of the Wolfman movie that came out like a few months ago, but like I at least appreciate it was going for something. Mummy was just dreadful. Mummy.
Well, yeah, and to be honest, the same goes for the Del Toro Wolfman movie from a few years ago. I mean, it's okay with some great bits in it, but ultimately disappointing. But at least it had a tone and a feeling, an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Which, the Mummy was just like, it's Mission Impossible with a mummy.
Yeah, and apparently borrowing some elements from the American Werewolf in Paris. Is that it? There's two movies of similar title, and I'm the John Landis one. The John.
Oh, that's London.
London. Okay.
Paris was the sequel. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, really, really weird. It's because the problem with the Universal monster films, the old ones, is that they were all set in the olden times. And the problem with this Mummy is it was set in modern times, and so you've got to explain then how Dracula, the Wolfman, etc., all exist in the modern world.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I will say that Tom Cruise Mummy movie does give me a new appreciation for the Brendan Fraser one, because that one is actually one, despite being silly and having over relying on computer effects, it's entertaining, and it does like actually respect the original and know what it's doing and know what.
The weird thing about that Mummy film is that would be perfect setup for a Dark Universe, because you just have Rick O'Connell as the main character with Evelyn as his sort of the science one, the one who does all the research, and you just go and have them investigate different monsters. Perfect. Works better than any of the Mummy sequels did.
Yeah, well, for sure. Hold on. This conversation is just reminding me of this classic image. Oh, well, that one won't work. Hold on. Yes, the promotional image for this failed universe, where it's just like they were so confident, like they got Javier Bardem as Frankenstein, which, in my opinion, that's solid casting. And then they got Johnny Depp, and I don't remember. Was he supposed to be Invisible Man? Maybe.
Yes.
Not as thrilled with that casting. Not because Johnny Depp isn't a good actor, just because I'm so fucking burnt out on him.
Yeah, but if you imagine it likely would have been a voice role, basically, for most of the film. Yeah, but then Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll didn't float my boat. And,
no. Well, I mean, he was shoved into a Mummy, and it was. I think they're trying to make him like the Nick Fury character, but then they made him part antagonist too in that movie, and forced a fight in there for no reason. That movie was dreadful. This whole Dark Universe, terrible fucking idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would actually argue, like the Dark Universe idea, like if they want to compete with Marvel, I don't think it's a terrible idea, but don't make them superheroes, which is what part of the reason I dislike that movie is because they were making them superheroes. They're monster movies. Do horror movies with them. Have fun with that.
And the monster movies, the reason they worked is because each of the monsters was different, and it was about different things. It wasn't about just fighting and being evil or whatever. They were about different things, and it's. Like I said, I could see a way of doing a sort of individual film for each one, and then a monster movie setup. And I think it was there with the original Mummy film that they made in '99, where you introduce the heroes and send them off on new adventures.
Yeah, you could have Rick O'Connell going up against like Dracula or something like that. Fuck.
I mean, they could have even done that this time around with an older Brendan Fraser, make him the Nick Fury character, and be like, "Oh yeah, 15 years ago, I fought the Mummy," and that's sort of how you
But that's
figure it all
actually a
out.
good idea, and I believe the Dark Universe was
Well,
against good ideas.
it seems to be. Because that was the other thing about the Dark Universe. They couldn't be out-and-out horror films. You're using horror characters in films that, when they came out, were horror films, even though they're not particularly... Well, there's some scary moments, but yeah, not particularly scary for a modern audience.
Well, no, but they are still very, for the most part, creative and fun movies, I would still argue.
Yeah, but they were, at the time, horror movies, and people associate them as horror movies. So trying to combine them into a universe which you're trying to aim for a general audience is just insane. How do you do Dracula now and not have it be more than a PG-13? I don't. Or the Wolfman. But yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Another failed universe.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest, I was not a fan of Van Helsing, Chris. I only saw it once, but yeah. I like Hugh Jackman.
It's one of my few reviews on my channel that is a negative review. It's sort of... but apparently, the generation below us absolutely love it. They've sort of discovered it, and they think it's great. And I think they need to watch better movies. Like, if you want to watch a monster movie team-up film, then watch The Monster Squad.
I was about to say Monster Squad is what I always go back to. That is so much fun. Here, let me go ahead and see what else we had to cover, because I know we covered a lot of the stuff we were going to.
Yeah, well, I think that the James Gunn thing was the main thing, and it should also be noted that all of the rumors about James Gunn being fired if the deal goes through all came from one source, and that was the ever unreliable Matt McGloin at Cosmic Book News, who assured his audience in multiple articles that his Hollywood insiders told him that that's the way it was going to be.
Well, I mean, you can't argue with that.
No.
Oh, excuse me.
Bob of the old days suggesting that Universal need to do a Fast and Furious and Jurassic Park crossover.
Well, yeah. God, yeah, they could do that, couldn't they?
They could.
I mean, you know what? Dinosaurs in a Fast and Furious movie, I kind of don't care, because those movies, I feel like those movies are better the dumber they are. And then, and then Jurassic Park really hasn't been. I don't know. I guess Rebirth is one of the better ones, but I'm still not thrilled with it.
No, well, I think there really are only so many stories you can do. Furious Park would be my...
Well, Chris, yes, they did go into space, which was a highlight of the whole franchise. But the fact is, Dom hasn't gone into space. And they have not raced cars in space. They had one single car in space, and that is it. They need to go further. Literally, Fast and Furious space race.
But yeah, the problem with Jurassic Park films is the two best ones that have the same plot, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, in my opinion, basically have the same plot.
Yes.
But Jurassic World does something quite clever with it, which is, say, comment on the film franchise itself, as well as sort of modern society, and how did people possibly get bored of dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what other stories there are to tell. The dinosaurs are magnificent and awe-inspiring to start with. Then it gets scary. Some people get eaten. Some people survive. I mean, it's basically a slasher film at this point.
Yes. Yeah, and in some ways, I feel like Jurassic Park 3 had the right idea of how to do a sequel. Just give up a pretense of like actually telling a clever story and just do a dumb B movie with dinosaurs. That's my hot take of the stream. Oh, you know, my second hot take. I enjoy Fast and Furious 9 because it is dumb. I like it when the Fast and Furious movies get really fucking dumb. Let's see. I
mean,
didn't see too much else to cover.
No, I don't think we had too much else. But
Mhm.
one thing that I always thought was a missed opportunity was a crossover between Jurassic Park and Waterworld. Because at the end of Waterworld, they get to dry land, which is this mysterious island, and then the film just ends. And I thought one final shot of the Jurassic Park theme park sort of logo there, or seeing the big gates, you're opening up yourself to a whole new world of possibilities. That film would have succeeded had it had the Jurassic Park ending.
I would have been game. I like that idea.
Yeah, they finally escape the water. They find the only bit of dry land, and it's the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park are on there.
That
because
would be epic.
have you seen Deep Rising, the Stephen Sommers film?
No.
Treat Williams.
No, I have not.
It's what he did before The Mummy. It's okay. It's a good B movie with a movie budget, but that film has that ending where they escape the monsters that are chasing them, land on an island, and then they hear the screams of more monsters, and they're on a different monster island. But we never got the sequel to that one because it wasn't a success. But they stole my idea.
Yes, they did. Let's see. I guess we will sign out. The issue is I didn't know if Dane had anything else in mind that he didn't share with me.
No, I'm not sure if he is coming back.
Yeah, I mean, he officially logged out, so.
It looks like it. I don't think we've got anything urgent to cover other than the Chuds again going back to their greatest hits. They're still whining about Lord of the Rings, despite I don't think Nerdrotic's read those books. I think he may have read. I think he may have read the Lord of the Rings trilogy once, but I don't believe he's any sort of expert on that at all.
Well, no, I mean, actual knowledge of this stuff. Oh my god, I just got. Every time I look at Nerdrotic's thumbnails, I'm like, the fuck. Who looks at these thumbnails and says, "Oh yeah, I gotta check out this content creator. He's so great." Clearly,
yeah, it's kind of depressing.
Yeah. Why they hate Lord of the Rings? Who? Like, the fuck are you even talking about?
Yep.
But of course, yeah, he also does supercuts, which is usually what you do when your channel's doing great. Oh, we need a video. Let's just throw a whole bunch of our old videos together. That'll do it. But yeah. God, yeah, his channel is it's still trudging along, and he's got a big enough audience that he'll keep going. But it is worth noting he used to get 1 million views on a video regularly, and as it is right now, he's at over 3 months since a video hit 1 million views. Still good, but like for guys like this who are pure grift, who are simply doing this to get the views, to get the money, he needs to bring in those views. Yeah, I'm not even sure. Was there? I guess there's probably Rings of Power news. I guess he probably found some article.
I don't think so, because I don't think it's coming out until next year now. I think the next season is due out. I know they're filming it at the moment, but I know there were some delays. So we could do some promotions of friends and channels we like. Angry Moogly is
No, I'm
doing
against
some.
that. Positive content? Fuck that.
Angry Moogly has been doing some really good Halloween themed videos over the last month, despite being a very new father. And he did a live stream about anime, which I'm afraid isn't my forte. So perhaps other people can dig into that. And of course, as I've mentioned, TTBN Gaming, great channel. He's getting better and better with the stuff he covers.
I mean, there's this Nothing But Media guy. I don't know about him. Talking about old TV shows. What the hell?
Who would do
I'm
that?
subscribed. What? I'm subscribed. No, listen. Nothing But Media down there. Go give him some love. He has some great videos. I'm gonna share the link here.
And I am working hard to get other stuff up as well, but part-time YouTuber.
I know that feeling. I know.
Yeah.
But
so I'm working. I've got scripts in process for several different videos, but it's finishing them off and then recording. But yeah, so again, TTBN Gaming, great channel if you're a gaming fan, or if you're anti-Chud. He did a video released 7 hours ago about Andy Pants Gaming, which is good stuff.
Why are my banners blinking? It's really bizarre.
Everything is StreamYard's fault, basically. I put it down to because
yeah. Well, this is actually on my screen, so I think this is a YouTube thing. Yeah. If it was just blinking on here on the StreamYard monitor, I would say it's StreamYard, but it's blinking on my screen. But yeah,
what do you got coming up as well? I caught your stream of the classic Universal films that you covered. You covered The Mummy.
Oh yeah, yes. That was good fun. And then I know next week we're doing some more horror stuff on the podcast. Also, hopefully fairly soon, I'm going to record it tonight. I'm going to be doing Fantastic Four First Steps versus Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, which should be fun.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting comparison.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of the same story, except one's well done and one isn't. You'll have to guess which one.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. My opinion's clouded.
Oh, so much smoke. I can't tell.
Yeah, the Birdman as well. We've got to shout out the Birdman.
That's true,
He did
he's a smaller YouTuber. Someone who I've been, I'm gonna give this guy a shout out because I've actually noticed this guy subscribed to me and he's been doing some banger content that I've been watching recently. And also give him kind of an open invitation if everyone wants to come on the Shillcast. Utterly Noah.
Yeah, another good channel.
Yeah. He's been calling out the grifters fairly regularly recently, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, because when he first started doing
you're
it,
aware, I saw your subscriptions are public. You are subscribed to me, so rsetlock3@gmail.com if you ever want to come on the Shillcast and talk to us, dude.
Yeah, when he first started, a lot of his content was clearly influenced, certainly by the Birdman and the Shillcast stuff. But he's branching out and he's learning his craft very quickly and going into stuff that we don't cover or haven't covered.
Well, I can tell he's obviously more into video games than I am, and also he's obviously a bigger Tron fan than I am as well.
Yeah,
which I get. Like, he's a big enough Tron fan that he was willing to go see Tron Ares in the theater despite Jared Leto. And for me, I could not cross that bridge. But yeah, a good one. I think it's safe to assume Dane's not coming back. So
yeah.
Guys, make sure to like and subscribe to all the channels. Actual Fandom, of course. Turf Nation, who's been retired for over a year, but still give him some love. Eric Debunks, Eric's Reloaded. Of course, we got Nothing But Media down there. I know there's more Edgier Than Thou.
Bob of the Old Ways.
Chariot. Bob the Old
Chariot.
Ways, yes. There's so
Yourself.
many now. It used to just be the four of us. Now there's so many of us.
Organized Chaos as well, and of course Actual
That guy
Fandom
sucks.
and
He
the
has a terrible
Shillcast.
voice. Did you know his name's an oxymoron? It's ridiculous. But guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Oh yeah, Bobby Kors, give my co-host some love, even though he's not too active on his YouTube page. He does post a podcast on there. When his version of the podcast will stay up even after I paywall mine. So spoiler if you want to see old podcast.
And Pillar of Garbage as well.
Pillar of Garbage, yes.
Another one of our whales.
Yes. Anthony Gramugula's. I haven't finished his Nightmare on Elm Street video, but like that was a banger. What I saw of it. And,
the Tim Burton one is excellent. I watched all of that last night, and
nice.
yeah, he makes some really astute observations about Burton in that.
I am intrigued because Tim Burton's always one of those guys. My friend, well, I guess some of my friends really like him. A lot of my friends, other of my friends have more my opinion, where it's like I enjoy him, but like I feel he's overrated too.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Some of his films I really enjoy.
Yeah, some of them are a lot of fun, and some of them are just not. Yes, and yeah, Eric July, yes. The guest of the Organized Chaos podcast.
He hasn't shown up in disguise this week, so I guess he hasn't got off work yet. So,
yeah. Well, we need to talk about him. We need to summon him, apparently. But guys, make sure to like and subscribe to all the channels. I should be live this Saturday. I had to keep on having to push back that stream. It's supposed to be last week. It's going to be Saturday. I'm going to try to get in our stream in on Tuesday. We'll get some comic books covered during those times. Yeah, party on and be excellent to each other.
Enjoy the negative grift, guys. I'm out.